Have you ever sat in a room full of people and felt completely alone? Or maybe you've watched a sunset through your camera lens instead of your own eyes? We live in the most connected time in history, yet we have never felt more separate. We have 5,000 friends online, but we feel lonely. We have all the information in the world, but we lack peace. This is the digital veil. It is a thin, glowing screen that sits between you and reality. It is a wall that stops you from feeling once the deep truth that we are all connected to each other, to nature, and to the spirit. Today, we aren't going to tell you to throw your phone away. We are going to explain the science and the spirit of why that little device is actually a signal jammer for your soul, and how you can tear down the veil to find your way back to us. 1. The biology of disconnection. When we talk about the biology of disconnection, we are looking at the physical ways your body as a temple reacts to being plugged into a screen instead of being plugged into life. Your body is a masterpiece of biological engineering, but it was designed for nature, not for smartphones. When we use technology too much, our biology actually changes in ways that make us feel lonely and separate. The high alert nervous system. Your phone is designed to grab your attention using the same systems your ancestors used to spot predators. Every time you hear a ding or see a red notification bubble, your brain releases a tiny bit of cortisol, the stress hormone. Your body enters a mild state of fight or flight. When your nervous system is on high alert, your brain shuts down the areas responsible for empathy and deep connection. You can feel at one with the world if your body thinks it is constantly under attack by notifications. The dopamine trap. Every like or scroll gives you a hit of dopamine, the seeking chemical. Dopamine makes you want to keep looking for the next thing. You become addicted to the search, but you never reach the destination. This chemical keeps you stuck in your own head. It makes you focus on what's next, instead of what is here now. True spiritual connection happens in the now, but dopamine keeps you chasing the next. The death of mirror neurons. Humans have special cells called mirror neurons. These cells allow us to feel what another person is feeling. When you look into a real person's eyes, your brain syncs up with theirs. On a screen, this system doesn't work well. You are looking at a flat image, not a living energy field. The disconnection. Because our biology can't sync up through a screen, we start to see other people as objects or profiles rather than living souls. This is why it is so easy to be mean or cold online. Our biology has been disconnected from its natural empathy. Blue light and the spirit gland. The blue light from your phone messes with your pineal gland, which controls your sleep and your sense of timing. It confuses your body into thinking it's always daytime, which ruins your sleep. The disconnection. Sleep is when the body repairs its spiritual and physical connection. Without deep rest, the temple becomes dirty and foggy, making it impossible to feel the quiet peace of the spirit. The biology of disconnection is like having static on a radio. The radio isn't broken, but the signal is being jammed by stress chemicals and artificial lights. By understanding this, you can choose to put the phone down, breathe deeply, and allow your biological systems to return to their natural state of oneness. 2. The ego's favorite playground. When we call your phone the ego's favorite playground, we are talking about how social media and the internet feed the part of you that wants to be special, better, or different. In spirituality, the ego is the part of your mind that believes you are separate from everyone else. It loves to build walls. The digital veil is the perfect place for the ego to play because it provides everything the ego needs to stay in control. The trap of comparison. The ego lives for comparison. It is always looking for a way to measure your value against someone else. On your phone, you are constantly seeing the best parts of other people's lives. You see their perfect vacations, their filtered faces, and their big wins. The ego's reaction. Your ego either feels superior, I am doing better than them, or inferior. Why is my life so boring compared to theirs? Both feelings are a trap. They both make you feel separate from the human family. You forget that behind the screen, that person has the same fears and struggles as you. The hunger for likes. The ego loves attention. It wants to be noticed and praised to feel real. Social media turns your life into a performance. You stop living for the experience and start living for the post. You take a photo of your food before you taste it. You record a sunset instead of feeling its warmth. The ego's reaction. When you get a like, the ego feels a temporary rush of power. When you don't get enough attention, the ego feels small and angry. You become a slave to other people's opinions. You lose your oneness because you are too busy building a fake digital identity, instead of nourishing your real soul. The us versus them mentality. The ego loves to pick sides. It feels safe when it can point at someone else and say, they are wrong and I am right. The internet is designed to show you things that make you angry or make you feel right. This is called the echo chamber. The ego's reaction. It feeds on the anger. It makes you see people with different opinions as enemies or objects instead of brothers and sisters. This is the ultimate block to oneness. You cannot feel connected to the whole if your ego is busy hating a part of the whole. The ego uses the phone to keep you distracted and divided. It wants you to stay in the playground of comparison and judgment because that is where the ego is king. To find your way back to oneness, you have to stop playing the ego's game. You have to realize that you don't need likes to be valuable, and you don't need to be better than anyone to be worthy. You are already enough simply because you are part of the living universe. 3. Tearing down the veil. Tearing down the veil is the process of taking back your power from your smartphone and returning to the real world. If the digital veil is a wall of glass and noise that keeps you feeling lonely and distracted, then tearing it down is how you find your way back to oneness and peace. It is not about throwing your phone away. It is about learning to be the master of the machine, rather than its servant. Here's how you practically tear down that veil. Reclaiming your first light. The most important moment of your day is the first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up. This is when your brain is in a very special, open state. Most people reach for their phone the second they open their eyes. This immediately pulls you into the veil of other people's opinions, bad news, and stress. Make a rule: no screens before breakfast. Use this time to look at the real light of the sun, breathe, and set your own intention. By doing this, you build a spiritual shield that protects you for the rest of the day. The power of the human gaze. We often look at people through our phones, but we rarely look into them. Tearing down the veil means looking people in the eye again. When we sit at dinner with phones on the table, we are half present. Our energy is split. Practice sacred presence. When you are with someone, put the phone out of sight. Science shows that when two people make eye contact, their heartbeats and brain waves start to sync up. This is oneness in action. You are tearing down the digital wall and building a bridge of light between two souls, creating sacred spaces. Your temple, your body, and home needs places where the digital veil is not allowed to enter. We take our phones into our bathrooms, our bedrooms, and our dinner tables. This means there is nowhere for the spirit to sit in silence. Designate phone-free zones. For example, the dining table is for food and conversation only. The bedroom is for rest and connection only. By creating these boundaries, you give the static a chance to clear so you can hear your inner voice. Choosing silence over noise. The veil stays strong because we are afraid of being bored or silent. We use podcasts, music, and social media to fill the gap. Spend 10 minutes a day in total silence with no devices. At first, it might feel uncomfortable, but this is how you starve the ego and feed the spirit. In the silence, the veil disappears, and you realize you are already connected to everything. Tearing down the veil is a daily choice. Every time you choose a real conversation over a text, a walk in nature over a scroll on Instagram, or a deep breath over a quick ping, you are breaking the spell. You are proving that you are a living human soul, not just a user in a digital system. 4. Returning to the whole. Returning to the whole is the you are home. Please subscribe to this channel for more of these videos.